welcome back. It's been quite a while, but hey, I'm back. Welcome to another Double Dark video. Before I start, I'll just explain myself. I've been super busy. Life's been crazy, so I'm sorry I haven't been uploading. But hey, here we are, and I've got quite a treat for you. This is a wild game in a wild variant. This is Dark Omni and Dark Null. So, if this is your first Double Dark video, just a quick reminder. So how this works: Dark cards, there's only one of each card. Dark Omni cards get touched by all clues. Null cards get touched by 0 clues. So you got to get very creative to get the Null cards. Honestly, this is one of my favorite pairings, minus the dark part. But okay, here we go. Piano Bluke's turn. I can promise you, you're not gonna guess the clue I gave, because it is quite a mess, and I'll try my best to explain it. Piano starts with yellow. No, this is not hat guessing, but this gets this to play and this to play. How the hell did that happen? Well, I guess you can pause and think about it, but here we go. So, surface level, this is a play clue, right? The next level, Kimby's like, okay, it's a very weird clue. Well, is it like a layered finesse for yellow too? Definitely not, because that would require 2 fixes. Super not worth it. Really not efficient. So it's not yellow 2. Is it ever yellow 1? I'd argue never, because I would do yellow here instead. Pick up these cards for free. And then lastly, justifiably, you could say, well, can't this be Omni 1? To which I'd say, fair enough. It could technically be Omni 1. But I'd argue this yellow clue is so strong that me doing this one weird clue right now, at this moment, Kimby, excuse me, rightfully determines that I'm being cheeky, and I actually want something special. So, she decides to treat it as a shadow. A 4-charm shadow. Because, in theory, if you squint, you could say, I could clue 4. And if I could clue 4, this could get a charm. Remember, this is being treated as a 1 right now. God, this is so... this is a very complicated turn 1, I warned you. Okay. Now, you might say, well, Piano Bluke, that's silly because a 4 would not work. A 4 would look like a double bluff. And guess what? You're right. You're right, but we had talked about this kind of situation before, and we call this an implied shadow. It's an implied shadow. Because it's just so weird that Kimby trusts that I want her to treat it as if as if we could have done a shadow. So if you're lost yet, I'm sorry, but there's actually more. So here we go. So this is why Kimby plays her second finesse, is to tell Piper that his second finesse is a 4. So you can see everyone marks this as a 4. Now, we're not done yet. Remember, Kimby currently thinks this is a 1. A yellow 1 or Omni 1. Which is why it could have been charmed, right? But Piper sees that's a lie. So Piper is actually expected to blind play now to fix the lie. So because it's a 2, it's a 1-away card, he can just blind play. And that tells Kimby, you can see our notes, it is a 2. So, all in all, this is called an implied shadow mirage. You're not going to see that every day, but, you know, in weird variants, you got to do what you got to do. So, so we ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And let's move on. Okay, so, I guess I should, Piper just has to blind play. Piper does see the 2 and 3 nulls, so, let's see how we pull it off. Okay, yeah, so I just keep it really simple. Get the yellows rolling. And yeah, I mean, worst case, we're going to lose a 4, but that's one nice thing about double darks is that there's not... I don't know, it's hard to not have stuff to clue in your hand, right? So, sure enough, yeah. Kimby does have a set clue. She clues 2. Which, if you check empathy, this is basically always green 2. Okay, so Piper plays. Piano blue. Finally, maybe can get away to bluff this. Can you see a good bluff? This one is a lot less weird, thankfully. Just a red blue. So, oh, I should remind you, we were playing with Dawn, but now Dawn is over, so this could be a 2 or a 3 after the bluff. Alright, next up. See if you can find a way for Piper to nab this null 3 off chop. Boom. Sure enough, he finds a way. Cluing 4 is another charm. Now, oh, right, sorry. I was going to say, I guess he could have done 4 here instead. And I would still assume a charm, probably. Though even then, maybe I might think blue 1, blue 3 as like a double bluff. Actually, yeah, just blue 1, blue 2, double. And also, remember, this yellow card is actually a known 4 from the shadow before. So anyway, blue I think is much clearer as a way to make sure that I know that it is going for a charm. Oh, and of course, it's nice. Now this is known yellow 2 instead of potentially Omni 2. So Kimby could just play right away. And she does. And would you look at that, we got the whole yellow suit going. Okay, Piper doesn't have any plays. But we do, so let's see how he navigates it. 4s to Kimby. Now, this is another really great clue. Turns out this perfectly identifies this as red 4, because you can see, right, if this was green 4, I would not blind play, because of course I would just play this, green 2, and I'd assume this is green 3. So as soon as I blind play this, she knows this is exactly red. And also, further, that means she knows it's a double bluff, so another excellent 4-for-1 clue. And yeah, you can see, like, we started the game at 1.43 required efficiency, and we've already pushed it below 1, so we're actually doing incredibly well. And not only that, but we picked up a bunch of 4s. Except for this 4. But, have no fear, Piper has another clever plan. See if you can see... Man, what a good variant. See if you can see a clever clue Piper can give. To be fair, he knows he has a yellow 4, so... But, he chooses to be sneaky once again and clue 4 to piano. Alright, you can see my empathy. By my empathy... Well, it's not yellow 4. I mean, it certainly looks like green 4. Right? Because I know I have green 2, which I play. Kimby knows that Piper was being sneaky. There's no reason he needed to clue this with 4, right? He could have clued green to get the same efficiency. But by cluing 4, he actually is... basically, he's promising this is playable. Which... I mean, it is, but I'm going to think it's like a finesse, right? I'm going to try to play this as a 3. So, basically, long story short, Kimby plays this basically as a known green 3. So, that's beautiful, because now this is almost certainly green 4. Though I will say I was proud. I remember this game. I remember I did consider that it would be really funny if this was Omni 1. That's a classic... It's called a fake pink finesse. So yeah, you can do this kind of move in pink variants a lot. So anyway, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Piano Blue's hand is terrifying, but fortunately they've got plays. Piper, let's see, what does Piper do? Okay, he plays this. Now that's a tricky choice, I'd say. He could, in theory, discard it to pass it to Kimby. But I think what he wants to do is have Kimby discard this with zero regard about it being green 4. And by doing that, that would clarify to me that this is green 4 and not red 4. But I guess it's sort of already known green. I don't know. I like the play. I mean, it sets up whatever he wants to do later with the yellow 5. It means we can clue this yellow immediately, get it to play, and not have to worry about my discarding a 5. So it's just good for tempo. Okay, anyway. Now Kimby's hand is super loaded up, but I think we actually all know that she has known trash, so I can just play this. And yeah, sure enough, it's actually very awesome that this is Omni 1, because now let's see if Kimby can nab this. Okay, not yet. Yeah, so as we talked about, let's just clear the yellow suit, and I think Kimby has a plan for this. So let's see. Finally, whew. This is actually our first discard of the game, which is wild. Because we're already at 12 score with loaded hands, so that's pretty impressive. Okay, so this was Kimby's plan. She sees that I just drew a red 4, which means she can discard her red 4, which is now off of finesse, which means Piper has to blaze discard. This is another, well, I mean, this was the inspiration for Shadows, right? Blaze discard. Usually this promises as a baton that the red 4 is right here, but that's a lie, so Piper has to play the matching finesse position to tell me where my 4 is. So 1, 2 means 1, 2. So now this is known red 4. Yeah, I mean, that's quite a nice way to get an Omni 2. It's a 1 for 0. Free cards. Alright. Healthy amounts of clue in the bank. We gotta get the 2, 3, 4 rolling. But now red 1 showed up. And, of course, there's a null 5 on chop, so that is still a concern. So we gotta keep Piper busy. I can play my 4, no problem there. Now Kimby comes up with a really creative idea. And I don't know, I'm curious if y'all think it works. Blue to piano. That's a 5, not a 3, so this is not a bluff. Except it is a bluff? So how does this work? The key is, if you look at Kimby's empathy, global empathy, she knows she has 2 blue cards, right? So this could be a 2 or 3. But importantly, we know that she does not know which one. And because we know she doesn't know, Piper doesn't have to wait, right? This is not a real finesse for blue 3, blue 2, blue 3, blue 4. And this is why this was pretty scary in my book, because I don't know, like if Piper marked this as blue 3, she could just be like, okay, cool, and discard, right? So we got to be really careful here. Fortunately, this is just super high trust, and I guess Kimby knows that, well, Piper knows that it should work. I think I would never have played this card if this was blue 3. And also, I mean, I guess there's a blue 3 here anyway. So anyway, long story short, Piper and Kimby are wizards, and Piper trusts that it is indeed a bluff. So he plays. So I'll admit, in-game, I wrote this as a 3. You can see it, 3. I absolutely did not consider this fanciness, but which almost cost us later, but thankfully I held on to it. And yeah, there's other stuff to do anyway. Let's get the red ball rolling. I go with 3 here. again, keeps Piper occupied. And remember, this was known 2 from the bluff. Red 2 or 3, so now it's a known 2. Alright, and now stuff gets a little wacky. I think this is the one bomb of the game. Can be clues 5, spoilers. Now, in null variants, dark null particularly, we agree that recluing 5s like this is actually a null chop move. So this is a way to chop move a null card, which you might otherwise not be able to chop move. Also worth noting that I bet she set this up, because now this fills in the 5 as being a 5 and not a 3, so yeah, that's handy. Now, the reason this is weird though is that this is definitely a hard variant, and generally we agree that we do loaded clues. So when she clues 5 here, it is signaling that there's a null card here, except it's sort of loaded, right? Because Piper has plays. So you can see my note on this. I say hopefully, well, okay. I decide, after a long thought, I wish I could see how much time I spent on this. I decided that it's a null chop move on me, okay? Since this would be loaded, it wouldn't make sense to be on Piper, so therefore it's a null chop move on me. And if that's true, then this is playable, so I play this as null 4. And that's why I wrote, okay, well, this is now chop moved, but hopefully now he knows it's exactly null 5, right? So, I mean, no harm. We got a bomb. I think we're back in sync. Alright, red 5 shows up. Presumably can be... Okay, yeah. 0 clues, so that's very smart, yeah. Wait, I said that as if she had an option. She's at 0 clues, so yes. Smart not to bomb, I guess. So yeah. Okay, play. I can play. Maybe this is a little scary because... Well, I don't know. I think I just trust that Kimby's going to get a way to do this. And if I have a... Well, if I have a 5 in my hand, she can get extra fancy. Yeah, I mean, actually, looking back out, the only other option would be like 3 here. Or maybe I could get weird and do like a 2 as like a inverted trash pull. But I don't know. In 3-player, you gotta know when to play and when to clue. In this case, I know my hand is pretty loaded up, so I want to get my cards rolling, and I can leave Kimby to get this. So sure enough, she does get a double. This is an unnecessary trash push. So Piper plays this. Oh, haha. And I do not play this. I first discard. Oh, I just realized this... It's actually weird that this one would be the discard. Anyway, I think I can discard this one instead. Maybe I was spooked. I don't know. Maybe this could be like Omni 4. Anyway, maybe it caused some problems, but point is, I wanted to shout at this. So now this is chop moved. Notice this still is not known 2 or 3, so so it can be stalls because she was just shouted at. Very good, disciplined. And you can see, we're really not rushing this, right? The nulls have been taken care of, which is great. And now we can just sort of slow roll and be safe. So again, this is basically a useless clue. I mean, we all know this is gotten, so this is just a way to say, hey, you can in fact play this card. Yeah, it is null 5, so he plays it. And now I bet it's time to get this going. Yeah, so there's the 3 clue. 2, 3, 4. Play. And look what it is. Omni 4 shows up. Right on time, because now these are known. So Piper plays this. And look at this. Well, I trust this is gotten. As soon as Piper plays this, the only way he can know to play that is if Kimby has Omni 4. And because of the 3 clue, she actually knows it's right here. So that's very clever. I guess there's a world in which this could be the Omni 4, but I don't think that's true. I think that's just... No. From context, there's just no way that's Omni 4. Yeah, if it was, we would have gotten that. This would have played long ago. So anyway, yeah. Point is, she knows it's exactly right here. So, which means I know that I can play, and then she can play to get me to play, and then Piper can discard. And you can see this is heading towards victory. Play, 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 play. Piper's digging for the green 5. And there it is, and that is GG. Whew. Well, I hope that was fun. It was wild stuff from turn 1 on. Lots of big plays. And admittedly, you know, the null suit was pretty polite for us. Some dark null games can be hellish when, like, if this 2 didn't show up, like, oof, stuff would go a lot differently, but we found a way. We prioritized getting them out really quickly, and then converted the win, so, yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I have a backlog of these, so I'm excited to record more.